Herman?
Here.
Justin Henderson?
Here.
Debbie Cole?
Here. And we do have a quorum, Madam Clerk, right?
Yes.
Do we have minutes for approval?
We do not.
Do we have any correspondence?
We don't have any of that either.
Do any of my fellow commissioners have disclosure of ex parte communications to share? Okay, nor do I. Seeing none. Do we have any old business?
No old business.
So just before we begin, we basically have to look at each project that comes before us, looking at the quasi-judicial information, and we extend a period of 3 minutes to members of the public who want to address us on any matter, regardless of type of item. So with that, if we could begin with new business, PC 1023, appropriate. Thank you.
Yes, so this is PC 1023. It's a text amendment to the Land Development Code, specifically section 34348. And actually, I'm going to turn it over to our city attorney. This is more of a glitch bill than anything, so she's going to walk you guys through.
Good evening, members of the commission. Sandra Robinson, city attorney. As Mr. Popoli indicated, PC 10-23 is the proposed amendments to the text of the LDC, more particularly to section 34348 of the LDC. Among the many duties that the Planning Commission has is the responsibility of reviewing, considering, and making recommendations with respect to proposed amendments to the LDC. What is being proposed here is to change some provisions that will bring it in conformance with what's 34-347. If you've had a chance to review the agenda packet, what you will see are 2 potential areas where the text would be changed, and it's in a very limited capacity at 348I and 348J2. And what we are proposing with this new text is simply to change out the standards that currently exist and would be applied for an application for a PUD zoning, and to swap that out for the standards that are in 34-11. If I hadn't already said it, the current standards are those that are set forth in 348. The history behind our request is this. Back in 2018, the City Council was presented with similar proposed amendments to Section 347. That's for the redevelopment of zoning. And if you've had a chance to look at both 347 and 348, what you see are the similarities in language. We share similar, same languages between those 2 chapters. Yet in 2018, when the council swapped out the standards and now substituted 211N as the standards to be applied, they failed to make the same change to 348. And very recently, the council reviewed an application for PUD zoning and had every expectation of using 211 as the standards to apply, and was unable to do so because our code did not provide for it. So with this proposed amendment, as I stated, there's just a small change at 348I and 348J2, swapping out the standards in 348 for the standards of 211. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them for you. But my office, the City Attorney's Office, is recommending that you approve those changes and also recommend that you signal that approval to the City Council. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do we have any questions for the city's attorney?
Yes, ma'am, I do. I'm on page 4 of 8 of the application package, and I'm looking at J2.
Yes, sir.
And it says north arrow. And north arrow. Is that correct?
Yes, that's J2 of the standards, right?
So I and J2 right there, those those two.
Yeah, I think what,
6 of 8? Okay, just trying to track with you.
yes, page 6 of 8. So the way they have these codes numbered is a little bit confusing, but you have to,
I have it on 4 of 8. I was gonna ask for that.
no, this is page 6 of 8. It's 348 I, and then J2, and this is on page 6 of 8, which both of the provisions show up on that page. And if you have that in front of you, I is at the very top, and it would be action by the Planning Commission, and J2 is under action by the City Council.
Okay. Thank you. Now that I've caught up.
Well, the way the codes are numbered sometimes are a little bit confusing, but the sole content of the changes are contained at 6 of 8.
Thank you.
So can I ask the dumb question?
Sure.
So going from 348 to 211
Yes, sir.
as the new thing they want to use to review these things, what does that change?
Okay, so I don't think it changes a whole lot, and I'll tell you
Let's
why.
start with the little things.
City Council has been traditionally applying the standards of 211, and I believe the Planning Commission has as well. How this was brought to a head was in the application that I referred to, not by name, but a recent application where the applicant's agent was an attorney of record on a case where the court had said that in 347, the City Council could not apply the standards of 211 to an application which had been noticed in the code as being under the standards of 347. If that makes any sense to you. So that's the history of it.
348.
No, this is for there was a lawsuit that prompted the change back in 2018 of 347. And so the council addressed that deficiency by changing 347, but we failed to change 348 at the same time, even though those two provisions of the code were very similar, not only in the substance, but also the actual language that we utilized. And so, again, falling back on tradition, the council had been using 211, expected to use 211, and the attorney who's of record of that case was also now the attorney on this application and said, whoa, listen, you can't use 211 because it's the same situation that existed in 2018 where the court said you were wrong to have applied 211 in that particular situation. And so at that point in time, council had to take a step back, rely solely on the language of the code, and utilize only those provisions. But historically, there was that utilization. We had just not been, if for lack of a better term, made to defend that in view of the LDC's actual language.
Great, thanks.
So, Mr. Henderson, do you have any more questions?
So I guess question, in the case that came up with it, when 211 was not applied, they had to go back to 348. Was that advantageous for his case, or for his
Absolutely, yes,
application?
yes. And the standards are different. So if you look at them, so 348 is right there. It's a part of your agenda packet. We connected the actual current language. The considerations are not as broad, and they are more technical in terms of being limited to the site and the development of a specific site. When you look at the considerations that are set forth in 211, a lot more can be taken into consideration. It doesn't have to be as hard, it doesn't have to be as technical, and discretion plays a lot into those types of analyses. We weren't able to tap into that, and I don't have any idea as to the ultimate effect as to utilizing 211 versus 348, but the process will be is a lot more narrow, and things that might have been of factors that could have been validly considered with 211 as the standards were taken off the table. And so obviously the fewer factors that need to be reviewed or considered operates usually as a benefit to the applicant.
Do we have any further questions?
Yes. So the only thing we're doing is on page 6 is the red line?
That's correct, ma'am. Thank you, Madam Commissioner.
Do we have any discussion? I'm going to open the public hearing. Would anyone like to address this matter? Requires a two-thirds vote to no.
Do you need name, phone number, that type of thing?
Yes.
Be sworn in, please.
Hi.
Hi, please raise your right hand, state your name and address.
Pardon me? I'm sorry, I have hearing
Oh,
aids.
sorry, raise your right hand, state your name and address.
My name is Rhonda Stanky McDonald. I live at 1120 2nd Avenue North, Jacksonville Beach.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's not a discussion. It's more just saying, thank God we're fixing this now. I'm hoping that you all logically approve this, and just want it to be in the record that this breach, however it occurred, has been a huge loophole that the PUD, that this board unanimously denied, was able to march through that and exploit that. Thank you very much for correcting it today.
Thank you, ma'am. Further discussion? We're going to close the public hearing. No one else would like to speak? Anything to talk about, or do you have a motion?
Make a motion for this to pass.
Do you have a second?
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
David Dahl,
Yes.
Colleen White,
Yes.
Justin Lerman,
Yes.
Justin Henderson,
Yes.
Margot Martin.
Yes. The item has been approved. Thank you. Planning Department report. Mr. Buckley?
Yes, so your next meeting is going to be May 8th. We have one case for that meeting. Also, we have scheduled the joint workshop with the Planning Commission, Planning Commission, Board of Adjustment, and the CRA on the Land Development Code and comp plans. Will be the second round of those workshops for May 31st. It'll be at 6 p.m. in this room. It'll be a similar format. We'll probably have a radio before and do a bit of a presentation of the consultants. The stage we're at right now is basically they've taken all the input that they've gotten, sort of isolated the issues that seem to be the most important, or the ones that we knew about the code, and they're going to come back with ideas on how to solve some of those problems. And then, based on the input they get from this round of hearings and workshops with council, towards the latter half of the year, they're going to come back with drafts of both documents that'll then go through a similar process and all the public hearings through council and you guys and that kind of stuff. So this will be a very good opportunity to kind of have a little bit of back and forth, particularly because you guys have dealt with code and some of the complications that go with that. So I encourage you all to attend.
Any questions for Mr. Buckley?
And I'll send out a reminder